All right, let's go all the way back to Friday night. Collingwood up against the Bombers, and they were 5 goals up. The Pies playing some nice football, but then the Bombers turned it on, Isaac.
They did, and Lloydo, can the Essendon fans be any happier? I reckon I was there at the game and see them celebrating in the stands. All the Collingwood fans have left, and Essendon fans were jumping around in that shame-worn stand and having the time of their life.
Well, they started poorly, didn't they? And Jack Crisp kicks 3 goals in 5 minutes. I don't think the Bombers touched the ball in his 3-goal burst. That's how easy it was for Collingwood at that time. And they needed to win a game like that, Brownie. They'd failed the previous big challenges, and that was the one they needed.
This is unprecedented at the Sunday Footy Show. A double analysis at the screen.
I was a bit self-conscious about this pre-show, and you said, "No, get that done." And then you just chucked me under the bus.
He's going to need a big dinner tonight after all.
It's a big day for you.
Unlike Collingwood, who allowed Zach Merrett to do as he pleased and have 30 and 15 score involvements, the discipline of the Essendon midfield to do a job, a team job on Nick Daicos. Now, there is nothing great about this vision other than that they did not allow that guy to stand on his own, the best player in the comp. There's Durham, and it didn't matter who it was. So sometimes it was Caldwell, sometimes it was Durham, sometimes it was Perkins, but you just saw off the ball. Yeah, we'll get to that in a tick, Damo. But look, he's actually putting some body on. He's not allowing him to stand free at stoppage like Gold Coast did the previous week. There is body contact at all times, and they are not allowing this guy, who still had 30-odd touches, but 42% kicking efficiency. It was discipline. Kelly comes in here. You'll see him. Look, no one's on Daicos. I'm going to go put my hand up and take him because they just didn't want him to stand on his own. So such a disciplined team performance, and a reminder that just don't let the best players do as they please. Great job.
Where are Collingwood at, Lordo?
Collingwood had too many injuries, unfortunately, so they just can't get themselves going. They've got too many depth players in there that they wouldn't normally be playing. So this is their inconsistent form. And in their next month, they've got Geelong on Friday night, Hawthorn and Carlton in the next month. So I don't think they're a premiership
Do they make
chance.
it, Isaac?
I reckon they sneak in just because of who Collingwood are. It's tough. When you win a premiership, here's their run home. So, as you mentioned, you've got Geelong, Hawthorn, Richmond, Carlton, Sydney, Brisbane. So it's a tough run. And if they can win 3 or 4 of them, they deserve to make it because it is a tough run. But once you go deep into September, you win a premiership, you start to get these injuries that compile. It's hard. And winter becomes really difficult. But if they can get their team back out there, get a run at it, I really like the Collingwood team. It's just the injuries that are hurting them at the moment.
We're almost certainly now without Brodie Mychek for the season, and Craig McRae's already spoken about that possibility on the back of what happened here. He's too courageous for his own good at times. That's a torn pec sustained in that damage. You can see how tough he is, and he actually stayed on the ground and was able to shepherd a Nathan Kruger long bomb goal through about a minute later. But you can just tell that when that man is showing some form of discomfort, you know it's a seriously bad problem, Brownie, because he's as tough as they come.
The amazing thing is they looked done and dusted. Essendon had full control of the game, but Collingwood still made a little surge at the end, so you can never write them off.
Friday night, it was massive. 81,000 people at the MCG. Collingwood started so well. Crisp kicked 3 goals in the space of 4 minutes and looked like how far the Magpies side-bottom wound back the clock. Daicos had 31, but ineffective. Zach Merrett's averaged 35 the last 4 against the Pies and had his own way again. Caldwell had 30, but it was the Zach Merrett show.
It was the Zach Merrett show. Even when Essendon weren't on top at the start in that first quarter, Zach Merrett's skills just stood out. He hit some kicks which steadied the ship a little bit, and he was absolutely brilliant. 30 disposals, 1 goal, 15 score involvements. There's talk about him being the All-Australian captain. You think he'd be in the side, and his leadership, the talk that's coming out of Windy Hill at the moment, Lordo, is massive on Zach Merrett.
And he's tough as well. So some of his chase down tackles when they need him to was superb.
It reminds me a lot of the way Trent Cotchin changed the way he played. So Cotchin was getting high 30s, close to 40 possessions, but Richmond were losing. He went to a defensive captain and became that player that led from the front. And I feel like Zach Merrett's treading a similar path.
Yeah, I feel like with his touches, it's maximum value per touch. So he doesn't have to get the 30, 35, even if it's a 24. What he does with it is so damaging, as highlighted by the 15 score involvements. I love the midfield. I'm not sure Darcy Parish gets back into the midfield. There's some pushback when I said that on Footy Classified because of players like Caldwell. Like, he's had 30, he's kicked a goal, he's had 8 clearances. I thought when he was asked to go and play on Nick Daicos, he did that, as we showed earlier on in the program. He's got speed, seriously tough, defensive. So him and Durham, and even Dylan Shield with what he did and the attributes.
It's a huge last quarter, wasn't it?
What the attributes that he can provide for Essendon. So there had been sort of one pace at stages when you put in Hobbs and you put in Setterfield and you put in Parrish. This is now a dynamic midfield, and they have speed, they're tough, they're demanding of each other, and he's been an excellent recruit for the footy club.
Well, it's why I think they internally believe it's so different to last year when they fell away. The depth is there. It wasn't there last year, and they've also got faith in the players that are out there.
Yeah, and they're tough. Like Durham's tough, Merritt's tough, and so is Caldwell. So I think that's where their midfield stems. Draper's going really well as the number one ruckman. And on Wednesday, I spoke about Ben Mackay and also Ridley. They had dropped off a little bit with their intercepting in the previous month, but Mackay was back to his absolute best. He took 6 from opposition play, so he turned this one over. That was about the only mistake that he made. So probably that's an issue for Collingwood, where who do you worry about in that Collingwood forward line?
Well,
So,
no one now because of the injuries they've got. Elliott is still yet to be confirmed to return from a vascular issue. We spoke before about the loss now for the rest of the year of Brodie Myercheck. We're going to speak to Tom Mitchell soon.
Jeremy Howe has to stay forward.
Yeah. But you're getting Jeremy Howe at this late stage of his career and in a role that he hasn't had for a long time.
Yeah, you just wonder whether Daicos or De Goey had to spend more time forward to be that option with Bobby Hill as their most dangerous forward. Caddy, you were big on this, Lordo. You said that they got their selection wrong the previous week. So Goldstein goes out and he comes back into the side after being dropped. And you mentioned his inaccuracy, 1 goal 3, but with young players, all you're looking for is just something. And there's more than a something with this guy. Like, he's got the height. You can tell that he's aggressive and, look, he gets himself into good spots and finds pockets of space inside forward 50, and he can do that. So he was picked 10 in the draft, I think it was. There want to be some good players that were picked before him when every team you feel like needs a key forward at the moment, and the Bombers may have one for the next 10 years.
Yeah, the votes. Zach Merrett was by far and away the best man on the ground. He gets a 9. Caldwell loved. Daicos still had his 12 clearances, and Mackay for his intercepting.
So the Lou Richards leaderboard sits in this fashion at the moment, with Paddy Cripps of vote clear of Daicos, Isaac Heaney, Errol Goulden both play today, Zach Merrett getting Lordo's votes there, and Bontempelli did not vote yesterday. And the best prize in the business comes from Lexus of Blackburn. How about this, Isaac? Imagine when you were playing if you could win this $55,000 machine, the new first ever Lexus LBX. It is an absolute dream to drive. And Lexus of Blackburn, the team out there, great after sales service. And Kane, when you go out there, they make a great coffee as well.
Great coffee, don't they, Brownie?
Andrew Moore and the team, thanks to Lexus of Blackburn.